So hello and welcome to part 3 of building our station building. Now what we're going to do today is show you how we neaten up the edges like this, because I'm sure some of you have spotted that we've got these bare edges using this construction method, and as you can see there I've hidden it for all intensive purposes, and it's really quite simple. So what we're going to do is put little pieces over this. So relatively simple. We need to measure what we've got to do, which here is 36 mil to be on the safe side, which as it happens is what I've got here. And we're just going to cut small pieces of brick paper to act as, if you like, corner pieces. Now very interestingly, what got me started in a lot of these buildings was the book by, excuse me, I must show it to you at some point, I keep saying I'm going to, but he's the guy that built Madder Valley and did the Pendon, which is in Oxford. So he was making in the 1950s, and this was the technique he used as well. It's interesting how there's no such thing as a new idea, or you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So something I developed, I thought myself. So what we've got there is a little small folded 5 or 6 mil piece of cardboard, and what we're going to do, we're going to hide the edge by gluing it on here, and you're just using a little bit of PVA. I'm just going to stick that bit down like this, because remember PVA dries clear anyway. Is a little bit fiddly, especially if you're trying to do it being filmed. And don't make them too big, because I find if they're too big, they're a little bit too obvious. Now obviously once you've done them, if you've got a little edge showing, you can hide it. So there we go, that's that corner hidden. And then we'll do the same obviously with the blue brick. Again, I happen to know that it's 5 mil and I've got a little 5 mil bit here. This is a little bit more fiddly. I always find it better just to use a straight edge, just to get a nice vertical piece there. And then we can put that underneath. Like that, little bit of PVA, put that on in place, in the right place, straighten it up, make sure it's all nice and level with the existing. There we go, and effectively for all intensive purposes that's those corners hidden. Now you can just see a very, very faint line there, but in fact on a layout, if nobody knows what they're looking for, from 5 or 6 inches away, you're not going to see that. And obviously what we'll do now is go around and do all the edges, but that'll get a little tedious for you, you get the idea. What I'm just going to show you is the beginnings of our roof. So we've got these, which are the supports that are already there. I've added a double thickness in the middle of this one, and also we then need other roof supports. So what I've got here is nice and simple. Triangle's the right shape, just held apart with straight bits, and then obviously some triangular bits to keep it all square. And that makes a nice little sub-assembly, and that's going to glue in there to support that roof. So we'll just do that now. Now while I'm doing this, thank you to those of you which have sent us some lovely photos of your 3D printed models to our website. Much appreciated. If anybody else has got any, please send them. We love to see them. And we've and then we'll put them on our website, and if you let us know if you've got your own website or YouTube, we can link to that. And also the reviews are very nice. A few people have left us some very nice reviews, so that's great as well. So that you can see now, that will make a sub-assembly in there for the roof. Now what we're going to use to make the roof is this. So this is serial packet card, but this is double thickness. Now this has a couple of advantages, as well as being a little bit more robust. By sticking the two shiny sides together, it sticks much better, because obviously, as we've discovered before, the shiny side takes a while to glue. So relatively simple on this one. We'll just show you how we do this. It's a little measure. So we're going to make that 10 centimetres. They're 35, so we want them to be about 40, so we've got a bit of an overhang. But this one, we'll do a little cutout. So we want 10 by, see, I've forgotten already. 35, 40. So we're going to need a 10 by 8 square. So relatively simple. Pick yourself a straight line. Mark it out. Now, because we put a little mark there at 4 as well, because we're going to fold it. Can you find me a ball pen? I can't see my line. And then this part's going to be 10. Now you can use a set square here. I have got a set square. I've been doing this for a rather long while, so I tend to work by eye. And just mark out again the same distance, 10. Same distance across here. And then that will be relatively square. Now what I'm getting Doug to do is just get me a ball pen, because you can't actually see these marks. I can, but for the video you can't. So let's just draw those in. Now I made this card just by gluing it together and then putting it under a heavy weight while it dries, so that it doesn't warp too much. And that'll be our roof. And you can cut this quite happily with scissors. You don't need to use a knife blade to do this. So we've got our roof there. Then what we're going to do is score down the middle. And that should now just fold. There we go. Just like that. So that's got our folded roof. And that obviously now is going to sit on there. But we've got to do a little bit of work to it, because we've got this building. So we get it lined up. I'm a big one for marking things out sometimes rather than measuring. It's quick and simple. There we go. I know where it is. We know that needs to be 5mm, because that's the overhang we've allowed. So I'm just going to do that. There. So I was saying, it's a fine line getting it right, and I prefer to err on the fact that perhaps people that don't know how to do this, rather than assume that everybody knows. I've seen some videos like that where everybody assumes that everybody already knows how to do these things, and I'd rather do it assuming you don't know how to do it. And that should then do us the little cutout. I've left my trusty Stanley knife upstairs, which was a mistake, and these aren't quite sharp enough. There we go. I'm too lazy to go upstairs and get it. And I've got a teenager suffering from CBA, so he's not going to go and get it. There you go. And you can see that fits quite nicely on there. So what we'll do now is we'll just show you us covering this. So what we're going to use here, and we've had the discussion before, use whatever brick papers you like, print your own, do whatever you like. I tend to use the Super Quick, purely because I buy them cheap a lot. I tend to buy them £1.50 a packet. The new ones, though, are very good. They've redesigned a lot of them. One thing to check, if you're making a building like this where you need a lot, make sure you use a new pack, or you've got enough sheets of your existing, because otherwise you will find you'll get halfway through and the others will be a different colour. So I'm just going to trim this to shape. We'll save these because these are the roof. Trusty assistant just passed me a Pritt stick. So we're going to use these glue sticks. I find they're better for sticking brick paper on than trying to use PVA. That seems to somehow always end up in lumps, and this way seems to avoid it to some degree. Although I'm not too worried about that sort of thing. Relatively simple. The reason I've cut the edges off is so that when I stick this on in a minute, I haven't got the white bits. Line it up, make sure your edges are straight, and just push down. Nice and easy, like this. And then again, get your scissors, and you need to leave 1/4 inch, 5 or 6 mils all the way round. Like that. And then we're going to obviously fold these edges over, so you just need to take a little nick off the corners like that. Okay, I do tend to use PVA for this though, because I find it's easier. And then fold your line over like that. Right, there you go. There's your roof, all done. Now, when we fold this, you'll find that the roof paper will split across the middle. Doesn't matter because we're going to hide it with ridge tiles. And then that obviously is then going to sit on there. So what we'll do then, that's the last little shot for this week. We can see how we're going to start building the roofs. We'll show you next time how to do the gutters. What I'll do for next time is I'll have all the roofs done by one, and then we'll show you how to do the gutters. But it's coming along quite nicely. I think you'll agree. It's beginning to look like a good little building. Very happy with that. So I realise I haven't done the stones and window lintels, as it were, over these windows, so they've got to be done. But it's a nice little bit of work. It's coming along quite well. And next time, hopefully, we'll have a bit more progress for you. Hi, thanks for watching the video and for the nice comments. Click on the left for a previous video in this series. Click on the right for another video you might enjoy. And please don't forget to click to subscribe, like, comment, etc. Thanks again.